Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby.
You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border. And then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on America's soil. So he became the anchor baby. You don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
What's up, everybody? Welcome. Thanks for joining me today. I'm the American Anchor Baby. What's up? Welcome to my show. Thank you. Thank you. What is up? Right on. Welcome. About to get started here in a moment. We'll be taking your calls as well. 888-775-3773. We'll be getting into some stuff. A couple of things here. We'll get into some Trump and some of this other stuff, but I was inspired yet again by a caller on the Hake Report. They were talking about jazz. And I know a little bit about that. A little lightweight wannabe jazz guy. And we'll get into some other stuff today as well. Make sure you're subscribed and you're following me here on YouTube, as well as American Anchor Baby over there on Rumble. If you want to join up over there. It's a party. What's up, Big Mama Obama? So, there was this poem that struck me. It struck me in the feels. No, not really. But it was a poem that was shared on a Telegram account. The end times are here, some say. And so this Telegram account shared this photo of this poem that's on those ads in those in the metro, the subway, the Underground Railroad, you know, on the top there. And there's this poem. It was written by some person named Louise Bennett, and it was titled "Colonization in Reverse." And the account that posted it is like, wow, they're not even hiding it anymore. Look, they really are trying to take over. They're not even hiding it anymore. Colonization in reverse. And I want to share with you this poem. And I'll try to do it justice. I'll try to do it and it's out of respect. I like accents. I like cultures. I like knowing about the different cultures. It's fun. It's fun. And so I'm going to try to do it justice. I'm going to do this poem justice and speak it in it performatively. It is performative because it's not my native tongue or whatever, if you could call it that. But let me pull it up. Let me pull up the show. Get the show. Okay, hold on. So this is Louise Bennett. Louise Bennett's Colonization in Reverse. Here's the photo of that ad in the subway. There it is. Colonization in Reverse. You're seeing it on your screen. What a joyful news, Miss Matty. I feel like me heart going burst. Jamaica people colonizing England in reverse. By the 100, by the 1,000, from country and from town, by the shipload, by the plane load, Jamaica is England bound. Them a pour out of Jamaica. Everybody future plan is to get a big-time job and settle in the motherland. What an island, what a people. Man and woman, old and young. Just to pack them bag and the baggage. I turn history upside dung. Dung, D-U-N-G. Just a little bit of cultural enrichment here. We'll be doing a little bit of cultural enrichment here on I just tuned into the chat. You guys are losing it. You guys are easily entertained. Louise Bennett, this amazing post-World War II poem here. As Britain faced, read the poem, and I ended up learning a little bit about it. After the booming economy, the post-World War II, Britain faced a shortage of labor. And they asked, they required labor to remedy this. I can't stop speaking like that. The British government offered Jamaicans, along with other Caribbeans and South Asian groups, passage to England with the promise of new jobs. And Louise Bennett saw this as an ironic reversal of the colonization process, whereby the British, who once exploited overseas lands and resources, became dependent in turn on the descendants of slaves. Okay? So yeah, it's cute, but it is a little bit butthurt. A little bit of, what's the word? What's the term? I gotta steal one from Hake. Sour grapes. This is a known term, okay? You can't lay claim to it. There's sour grapes over colonization. And some of you haters don't say but, kids. Isn't that what we said as kids? That's like the main word. But, haha. Okay, let's move on. I'm laughing like an idiot by myself. Some of you haters in the chat call my show sometimes. You guys are all like, the first will be last and the last will be first. Being all cute in the chat, being all anarchist LARPers in the chat, saying, oh, the first will be last, the last will be first, kind of tongue-in-cheek alluding to the coming reckoning, whites. This is the coming reckoning, get ready. You're LARPing as an anarchist without a response to the world, without a response to evil, without something to replace it with. So you're just petulant children who want to destroy things then, is your motivation. So, I mean, colonize in reverse, but is that what you want? You want, what was the last line in this beautiful poem? It was, and turn history upside dung, D-U-N-G. I mean, that's how it's written. I mean, I don't know if she meant it to be that literal. Upside dung. Jeez. Don't be hating. What's up with all that? I mean, I just don't get it. You got like enemies on every side. The government's against, like some of you haters, we agree that the government's against us. This or that is against us, but still you want to hate and divide. You know what I'm saying? And then in turn, end up supporting the very things you are against. This control from the system when the system wants you to hate and be haters. Useful pawns, useful idiots. And so jazz was brought up on the Hake report. Okay. Nick, love your haters. That's what it's all, as the saying goes. No such thing as bad press. Right on, Stephen Will. I love my haters. I like talking to them. I like talking to everybody, really, on the show. Sometimes I think I've gotten into a stride of just being able to talk to people. I would get like in my head, I'm trying to run a show here. So I enjoy everybody's calls, 888-775-3773. But talking about jazz too, jazz was brought up, and it was a little bit of a it was jazz is black music. You guys love us for the music and everything, all the entertainment and stuff we put out, and you steal it and all that. And I heard that growing up. Jazz is black. It came from blues and it came from slavery and all that. And you know, for me, jazz is like a fun thing I got into when I was pretty young. How old was I? I must have been 15 or maybe even younger. I forget when I started these guitar lessons. I was playing music for a while on my own, and I ended up having a guitar teacher, a short stint, but this, Ken, wherever you at, Ken, wherever your life took you, he lit my imagination up with jazz, showed me Django Reinhardt, and Manouche jazz, gypsy jazz, if anyone knows what I'm talking about. This guy would play with just 2 fingers. He was in a fire and could do with 2 fingers what I can't do today. And so, yeah, I got way into it. And I remember coming across, because I was always a little Googler and looking up stuff, I came across this article. I always say it like Trump, this article back in the day, before ever even thinking about, like, before being an extremist as I am now. Of course, that's a joke. FBI and YouTube. There was this article. It was this guy, Eugene Hawley Jr. He's this black jazz guy who wrote this article on his Bill Evans problem. My Bill Evans problem and jaded visions of jazz and race. It's interesting that this came up too, because I remember reading this and every now and then I think about it. It stuck with me. And it was this black guy. It's a pretty fascinating article if you are interested in this stuff. newmusicusa.org. You can find his article there. Eugene Hawley, My Bill Evans Problem. And he talks about how in his studies of jazz and growing up and getting more and more into it, he fell in love with Bill Evans. Early jazz legend, white man, jazz pianist, American jazz pianist, the Bill Evans Trio, legendary music. And Eugene Hawley in this article has to contend with loving Bill Evans, but being seen as an Uncle Tom, because loving Bill Evans and the Bill Evans Trio, or, you know, other white jazz musicians at the time, was seen as like it was betrayal. It was betrayal. You're an Uncle Tom. Sort of in his academic jazz world, okay, in 2010-ish, 2000s, early 80s when he was growing up. So, anyways, he goes on to realize in his historical studies, and he had to hide it for a while, on how white jazz was, basically. And really, honestly, the conclusion, really, just to hurry up here, I mean, not to spend too much time here, but the conclusion, and really my conclusion, is just how jazz and really all music is just like, it just comes about at the crossroads of culture and people, and so it just comes about. To say jazz is black and you stole it from us is totally ignoring the joined history of blacks and whites in America, and all that, okay? Because there was legends on both sides, and it's kind of a bit of it's a bit of a mystery. The BBC, the mysterious origins of jazz, the Smithsonian, there's many, like, this is a bit of a conversation here, and many will point to the first jazz recording being made by a group of white guys. Group of white guys. That was the first jazz recording. Now you could say, oh, well, those they just got to record it first, but they recorded what they stole from the blacks and all that. But it's just, I think, a very shallow look at America history and life, really, to see it as just, well, that was black, that was white person's thing, that was a black person's thing. And and then try and fight about it is, yeah, really shallow. It's just a really shallow look at life. At the same time that these black musicians were incorporating African stuff and beats, there was the Cubans and the Afro-Latin musicians who incorporated African beats and samba and all that, and they made their own thing. And salsa and New York 60s salsa and all salsa music and all that came out. Big band and all that. Cuban salsa, Cuban swing. It's just this crossroads of history and people, and it's very shallow to be all into it like that. It's just kind of also a little topic I'm into. I do a little lightweight jazzing. I'm still not past. I'm still not comfortable on soloing on Spain, 𝒏𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒎. I feel like I've been working on that tune since I got here to LA. and I don't really put that much time into it. So when am I ever gonna? Shout out 𝒏𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒎, R.I.P. But anyways, that's my little jazz thing, little jazz head. You know, there's interesting insights even back in the early days of jazz. There were black activists and black musicians and black, you know, let's call it activists. I want to say activists because of how they feel very Black Panther-y to me when I look. I'm trying to give you a name, I forget. But of some people who would call certain musicians and certain types of jazz white jazz. So there was a fight even back then. It wasn't all hunky-dory, you know? So it feels like people have just never gotten along, I guess. As much as we're going through the history today on my show, it was not a, you see what I'm saying here? Like, it wasn't a settled and hunky-dory thing. It was a fight back then. Racial, anger, and and false. And the division continues, right? The first will be last, the last will be first. Why not just it's like, why pretend, why like side with like with groups and stuff and events that happen well before you, when there's like a real fight, a real life happening in front of you. America's under attack, whether it's like a concerted effort by entrenched powers and mysterious people and groups that we don't know, or it's just what we see plainly. It's falling apart, getting dirtier, degenerating. People they care less, they more standoffish, and then, you know, things kind of falling apart around us. And then realize that, and then see that, okay, wait, this white man maybe is not my enemy. And maybe Christianity ain't so bad. Okay, stop LARPing with these other failed religions. What else has built towering civilizations? I mean, I guess Islam and stuff, others have too. Anyways, Chris, thanks for the super chat, says, Nick, rumor has it you made the Anchor Baby intro song. Is this true? If so, respect. Thank you. Yeah, that was an original. I did get voice actors. I employed voice acting for the intro there. That was a nice boxing ring intro. You know how difficult it was to get people to say Anchor Baby? They don't like that. They don't like saying Anchor Baby. But the tune itself I made on Ableton and using the Arturia collection of synths, if you're into all that stuff. If you're into that kind of stuff. But thanks, Chris, for the super chat and the support. You can't super chat, you can't support. Over on Streamlabs as well, I fixed the link in the chat, I think, and the descriptions, which I think has been wrong for a long time. So I fixed this a while ago, to be fair. Hey, to be fair. But anyways. Anyways, I'm telling you about how bad things have gone. No. It was a little better. It was a little better said than that. But what better to describe what I'm saying than this next story here? Maybe there's better stories, but I'm segueing here, okay? And I'm segueing to this Ellen Page stuff because I think I came across the best pride story of the month, okay? What are y'all saying in the chat? I'm going to get distracted again. Let's move on. The best pride story. We have the best pride story. I know already you want to cringe. Already you want to turn away. But I'm telling you, this is the best pride story, at least so far. It's the best. I think it really personifies the spirit behind it. It all in one story, in the story of one person. Empowers. Okay, maybe not empowers, but it's a good one. And I feel like I ignore a lot of this kind of stuff, even though you'll hear me talk about it plenty on the show. Signal boosting, trans this or whatever, this or that. I know I cringe at myself too, and I cringe because, as unchristian as cringing is, because I see this on the conservative news stuff. I'm always on the aggregates. I'm always on the Twitter trying to bring you the fresh stuff. And this is what I see. I see your conservatives just, it feels like already played out and kind of, there's just a weird vibe behind it. Everybody talking about this crazy Trump sex thing and this crazy trans person. So it's easy to ignore this, and I would have, I think, normally. But I've alluded a little bit to the story before, or not alluded, but mentioned a little bit of it. Ellen Page, now going by Elliot, believes that this woman believes she's a man. Got top surgery and everything. And I recently spoke about this revelation that Ellen Page had about, well, she revealed how voices basically told her to be trans, and she was going through like a lot of stuff. Okay. But I don't really want to go into like details, but it's part of this memoir, this book that Elianton Page put out called Page Boy. So maybe it's just they're just drumming up attention for sales of the book. But I don't think this is a lie. The abuse, sexual like trauma that this person went through. I don't think they're making that up, and the voices and anyways, like I said, there's details here that I don't know. It's just no point in even going into. But it's the perfect pride story. Here we have a person who's come out and said recently, okay, I was a woman and now I'm a man. I got top surgery. This is what I truly am a man. I now am myself. This is for my mental health. This is so that I can be myself, all that. And this person is now, declaring to the world that they are whole. I am me. This is what I was supposed to be. But then we get details of the voices, the weird sexual things that may or may not have happened, but whatever, in this person's life. And it's, I guess, maybe easy to forget or move on from the sordid reality of the LGBT stuff, which is the the origins of trauma that these people all come from. Mena asks, what is top surgery? It is the removal of your breasts, not because they're cancerous, but because you in your mind believe that you're a man in a woman's body. So to avoid cognitive dissonance, you mutilate yourself to fit what you feel like inside. So anyways, my point basically here is just, it's easy to ignore with the fanfare and the parades, and look, I'm just a normal person, and and love is love, but that's that underbelly of the whole thing, is people who had trauma, this or that kind of trauma, and they don't always have to be that sensational, like a rape or this or that. But just the darkness that people go through and they end up here, okay? And so that's why it's the best Pride story. This is the Pride the Pride conclusion, okay? It's like Pride and you're wrong. Which is not groundbreaking stuff here, but you've heard it before, but it's true. Okay, so let me move on here. Hold on. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty much it on this one, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So what the heck is up with I'm reading the chat. What's wrong with you, Karen Williams? No. She says, man in a woman's body. Sounds nice. No. Right on. You didn't know what that was, Mena? Mina Mena? You're asking me, forcing me to be gross on the air? Okay, let me move on. So, there's this. What do I want to do next? What shall we do next? Trump. They're going after Trump. We know this already. But there was this image here. Look, I don't really want to spend even that much time on this because we know already. We don't really care about this. We don't really care what they're charging him with. We know it's, right? We're all on the same page, right? Like, this is fake. Going after him for minor things. I don't care about these documents. Like, we can all agree, right? So I don't have to spend so much time describing all that. Okay? Maybe another day, but I have to show you this. In case you didn't see it, I got to report the news here. The media, we already know how they are. So this isn't a big dunk, but this might be interesting to you. And it's the media and you know, this story broke. Trump, the arrest, the indictment, the federal indictment of President Trump unsealed. And the stories, many different stories, shared this image that was shared by the Justice Department, okay? And maybe you guys think I'm silly. Getting all up in arms over this. I'm saying it's egregious. You guys are probably like, oh, that's the MO of the Justice Department. No surprise here. Oh, wait, you're not even seeing it. Hold on. This image. It's this image of boxes, okay? If you're not watching, what I'm describing here is this image. It's like stacks of boxes, okay? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what, 6? 5, 6 stacks of boxes of supposedly full, stuffed with all these classified documents. Look at all those classified documents. If he wasn't in trouble, he sure is now. Wait, you're telling me that? Wait, I didn't care before, but that many documents? No. This is actually egregious. This is too far. I was on the fence, a moderate, but now. And so this is an image that's being shared. Okay, hold on. Hold on while I pull this up. And the thing is with this image is that it's fake. It's fake news. Give me a second as I pull it up here so I can read it. Jeez. But it's this image that was used that was shared, okay? And the point of sharing it is to get people feeling like I just felt there in that hypothetical moment with that person I just was pretending to be. Okay, showing these photos, splayed out photos, create this impression. They're trying to impress on the public, okay? Look at them, dozens of boxes. But this was, recently pointed out, and my background just changed. Don't be alarmed. I will change that after. Just changed to the JLP show. But it was pointed out that this picture is not a picture of the classified documents, okay? The classified documents number like 500 pages. And this guy, who I don't know who he is, Greg Kelly on Newsmax, okay? He did a whole demonstration of this, put a bunch of papers in a box. It didn't even fill up one box, okay? Okay? Nick, we already know the media does this, but this is next level. This is egregious. You should be outraged. No, don't be outraged. But what if you didn't believe it was a big joke, a big scam before? I mean, what else do you need? What else do you need? They're using fake images. I'm trying to pull it up here as I'm bumbling with the system here.
Spending a little bit less than 10 grand, but if you're thinking about YouTube, it's right to measure it properly from the beginning. There's so many fail points that Google is interjecting itselp that you just don't know and that we didn't know until we started actually testing different metrics and different things that you probably don't even think about. But it really increased efficiency to the point where we're able to scale cold traffic by massive amounts.
All right, so we're going to do a deep dive.
Everything is classified until it shows up on Hillary's
Dave says, holy crap, who's that
server? Half a ream. David,
I
think you're right, Nada.
He's been a long time listener, long time viewer.
Hold on.
Hey, Joe. Hey, Felipa. Glad you're all here. All right, people are starting to roll in, so let's get started in this week's lesson. This week's lesson is going to be talking specifically about YouTube ads.
Everybody.
We have a client that's spending about $3K a day hold on, and another client that's spending a little bit more than that.
No, it's still
YouTube.
playing.
Let me just actually get it.
Okay, I think it's gone. What was that? What a mess. Okay, let me switch back to my camera here, and let's move on. Let me get the remote. I can't do this with the JLP background. What a mess. All right, y'all. Let me see. I think I got one more thing for you guys. Bill, help me. Save the day. Nothing. The background just changed. I must have had it playing in the middle, and it went to the next video. Here, take this. Just you change it, please. Thank you, sir. Oh. Yeah, the background. That's what happened. Thank you, sir. All right, y'all. Let me see here. I think that's pretty much what I got for you guys today. That's pretty much what I really, truly have. There was this restaurant in Toronto. It's a new restaurant opening with all HIV positive chefs. If that wasn't, if you weren't satisfied with the signal boosting I just did, you're in store for it for the HIV restaurant. And the synthetic embryos. I have maybe some lightweight commentary and jokes on that. But honestly, it's not that important. I want to save it for Friday, Nick's stream, have fun. Let's take the plane ride and do our thing. Bit of a short show. I got to start preparing more for these. I got to start preparing more for the daily shows, you know. I really try to, but this is kind of what I got. I already shot my shot. Karen Williams with the super chat, thank you. Says the rainbow serpent is messing with y'all's computer system. American Anchor, baby. Hey, scared of me, he beta. Dang. Shots fired. Thanks, Karen Williams, for the support. As for the grievances, you may have to take that up with Hake. The 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎 at gmail.com, I believe. Got to be prepared for life, man. Boy, that's true. Anyways, join me tomorrow for some flight. We're doing a flight, 4 p.m. Don't miss it. It's going to be fun. Where do you guys want to go? Where should we go? I'm taking suggestions. Where should we charter the flight out of? Nice. Right on, y'all. Appreciate you being with me. Join me tomorrow, like I said. Take care. And goodbye.